और एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत है। अब हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हैं राजीव मखनी टू टेक अस थ्रू द नेक्स्ट आवर। वी बिलीव you and Mr. Bachchan need no introduction. Rajiv Makhni, Mr. Bachchan is, I think, as popular if not more.
नहीं, वो ज्यादा पॉपुलर।
हाँ, वही तो।
नेक एंड नेक।
नेक की गर्दन की बात ही मत कीजिएगा।
राजीव, over to you.
तो जितना ज्ञान है इनके पास, मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता हूँ, जितना ज्ञान है इनके पास, उसी ज्ञान के भरोसे हम लोग चलते हैं। मोबाइल हो, टेक्नोलॉजी हो, कोई भी चीज हो, इनसे सब सीखते हैं।
करेक्ट।
बट मिस्टर बच्चन, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ऑल दोज बहुत काइंड वर्ड्स आपके। लेकिन आई हैव टू से कि मेरे को तो अब हमेशा कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है कि जब भी मैं अब आपसे मिलता हूँ यहाँ पे, स्पेशली वर्चुअली, आपको मैं मिस्टर बच्चन कहूँ कि अमित जी कहूँ, क्योंकि आपके साथ मेरे घर पे अब इतनी बात होती है एलेक्सा पे, दिन रात वी आर टॉकिंग ऑन द अमित जी पार्ट ऑफ एलेक्सा। तो बहुत बातें वहाँ हो जाती हैं। बट थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन, एंड आई एम सो रिलीव्ड कि आज जो है इस शो पे एटलीस्ट मेरे को 30 सेकंड में कोई बहुत ही मुश्किल आंसर नहीं करना पड़ेगा। सो आई एम वेरी वेरी रिलीव्ड अबाउट दैट।
जी, अब वापस चलते हैं। अब मैं किरण माजुमदार शॉ जी का भी स्वागत करता हूँ। ये जो सेगमेंट है ये है अबाउट साइंस एंड हेल्थ, द यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी। क्या नई नई चीजें कर सकते हैं डिजिटल एंड AI बेस्ड हेल्थ केयर। तो बच्चन साहब, मिस किरण माजुमदार शॉ से आपका सवाल।
Ma'am, we are talking about the use of technology and digital applications in delivering healthcare services as widely as possible. So to make health accessible to all, is this the future of healthcare? Is this what the pandemic has led us all to?
First and foremost, I must say it's a great pleasure and a great honor to share this virtual screen with you, Bachchan sir, and of course with Rajiv as well. But thank you, Pranay, for asking me on this show. And let me answer your question by saying that technology is actually transforming the way we look at healthcare in many, many ways. First and foremost, I'm really glad that we are focusing on wellness and not just treating illness, because I think the health of a nation can only improve if you focus on wellness. As you know, Bachchan Saab, we spend trillions of dollars treating illness, and we spend very little on really managing wellness, and that is what will actually shape the health of any economy. Yeah. The economic returns on investing in wellness is far greater than on treating illness. So technology is actually playing a very important role in managing wellness. So when you look at sensors today, sensors are helping you to, track the amount you exercise. It is tracking, even during the pandemic, we used oximeters to check your oxygen levels in your blood. We use so many different devices to make sure that you're in good health. And I think today mental illness is also a very, very important part of good health. And there technology plays a very important role. Today a lot of technology-led solutions for mental health are being approved by US FDA to deal with some of the attention deficient diseases. And you just saw this beautiful rendition of Bharatnatyam to deal with good health and wellness. So I think that technology is not only going to play a very important role, but is also already playing an important role, especially in a country like India, where we have this huge deficit in medical human resource, in medical devices, and in medical infrastructure. When you look at all of this, I think technology can play a great role in terms of providing access at a very affordable scale and at great scale. So I think, these are very, very important opportunities for India. I'm actually involved with an initiative under the Citizens, Lancet Commission to look at reimagining India's healthcare. And technology is a very, very important part of this. For example, today our ASHA workers can be actually trained as digital assistants to go home to home, using very important, simple devices that can actually measure and diagnose early onset of many kinds of diseases, such as hypertension, such as diabetes, such as mental disorders. And I think we need to use this army of women health workers in a very intelligent way, enabling them with technology. Secondly, you know that telemedicine has now become very important in the scheme of things. And the pandemic was a great opportunity for every part of the world to use telemedicine because there was such a risk associated with patients coming to hospitals. And I think a lot of diseases were managed virtually through telemedicine. And the results of that have been pretty good, except for certain diseases where you need to have intervention. But otherwise, I think technology has played a very important role. Of course, in terms of digitally enabled primary health centers, I think a lot of emphasis is being paid there because I think early diagnosis is really the name of the game today. We want to actually diagnose early and treat early so that the cost of treatment comes down and the outcome is much better. So I think whether it is cancer, where you need to diagnose early, whether it is diabetes, where you need to diagnose early, any disease, when diagnosed early, the curative potential of such diseases are extremely high. And these can only happen when you use technology. And you need to use smart technology. Of course, you all heard about the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are best actually used at the moment in imaging technologies because that's where you can train the machines to intelligently interpret images. But I'm sure the day will come when you can use artificial intelligence in many other ways. As a scientist, I know that a lot of what we are doing today in terms of drug discovery, drug development, we use a lot of technology today. Whether it is genomic data, whether it is other omic data, proteomic data, we rely a lot on technology to abbreviate the way we do things. Today, technology is allowing us to, in fact, look at the example of the vaccine. The vaccine has been brought from lab to market in less than a year. This was unheard of in the past because we did use a lot of technology to design the vaccines, to conduct clinical trials that could quickly interpret the data in real time. And that is the way we've been able to use technology very intelligently. So to me, I think technology is really a huge transformative instrument that we have. And we're just scratching at the surface right now. I think what is good about this pandemic is that it has opened up our eyes and ears to the potential that technology has to offer. And I remain very optimistic that we will really be able to provide universal healthcare in India to every, Deshwasi based on technology linkages.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for all this information and connecting how technology is going to be so vital and so important for not only just detection, but future cures. And we've been talking about that earlier, haven't we, Sanket?
Yeah.
About how through apps you can get a lot of knowledge.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that great insight. I had a quick question out here, and great honor to speak with you out here. Recently, you'd actually said something which I'm taking also from the answer that you just gave right now. You had said that venture capitalists in India don't understand high science, therefore they don't invest in bioscience. One of the big barriers I think that we always have with investments for the big things that need to change. Has that changed with the pandemic? Is there a new thought process out there? Do you believe that big investments in bioscience will now come?
So, Rajiv, I really don't think the pandemic has moved the needle when it comes to venture capital in high science-led kind of ventures. The reason being is that, taking any high scientific idea to the market is a very long journey. And I think the risks associated with failure are very high. So let's take the case of mRNA vaccines. mRNA vaccines were a concept more than a decade ago. Okay, it was Moderna was started a long time ago. It is not that Moderna started today. Moderna and BioNTech were companies that were started a decade ago just on the hypothesis that mRNA could actually code for certain proteins which would be very important. And at that time, there was a concept of vaccines and cancer vaccines and cancer drugs based on mRNA. And, let me tell you, Moderna was a company that was valued just over $1 billion when the pandemic hit us. Okay. Today, it has hit $200 billion, and it is one of the most expensive biotech stocks in the world. And how did that happen? It's because the mRNA technology was invested in by venture companies, by venture funds, saying someday this is going to deliver a great promise. Now, the someday was because they understood the potential of mRNA. Now, they needed the right kind of product, the right kind of drug, and in this case, the right kind of vaccine for that potential to pan out. I don't even think they imagined it could be such a valuable company, but they felt it had huge value potential. Now, that is what is not available in India. In India, when you come up with a new concept based on a very new technology, in our field, today we know that immuno-oncology is a huge area, and we know very little about how cancer immunology works. But every time you discover a new immunological target, a company can be started. But then to translate that immunological target into a drug takes you almost 10 years. Who's going to invest in that science? Who's going to invest in scaling it up or taking that idea to the market? Now, I think the government of India has done a tremendous job. BIRAC, which is the investment arm of the DBT, whether it is DST, they have actually provided the seed capital or the risk capital, but that only takes you up to a proof of concept. We want venture funds to invest beyond proof of concept and allow us to take that idea to the next stage, which is into the clinic, into human trials. That is where we have a huge problem, because most companies prefer to invest in very simple technology-led solutions. Such as, if you tell someone that, I'm going to create a database of vaccines, that is something people will go and invest in. But if you tell them, I want to take this new oncological target and make it into a product, then there are lots of reasons why people don't want to invest in these kind of companies. That's the challenge.
No, I completely
Moreover,
agree.
in the US, they allow such companies to go to capital markets. Here we don't.
No, absolutely. Thank you. I completely agree, but I'm also hoping Moderna as an example is a great example for VCs, because I think health, hygiene, all kind of different things, especially with what the pandemic has proven, maybe the very idea that a company valued at $1 billion is now worth $200 billion. I think a lot of VCs may just want to understand high science a little bit better and get into it. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful speaking with you, and I'd love to catch up at some other time.
Yeah, not every company will be a Moderna, but 1 in 50 or 1 in 25 can.
Right. But the VCs will hope every one of that invest into is. Thank you so much for joining us today. Wonderful speaking with you today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Also joining me today is actress Ananya Pandey. She's doing something very, very interesting, and therefore I'm very happy that she's joining us today. Thank you, Ananya, for joining us. And I want to talk to you about this initiative that you've taken up called So Positive. Why So Positive? What was the idea behind it? What was the inspiration? Why did you take up this initiative?
So Positive is basically a digital social responsibility. And I started it at a time where I felt like there was a lot of cyberbullying going on. I felt like there was a lot of trolling going on. There's this thing called as cancel culture. So I felt like there was just a lot of toxicity in the environment on social media, a lot of negativity. And I feel like a lot of people, me included, were going through this thing called cyberbullying, but no one was able to address it or, put a finger on exactly what was going on. So I think I felt the need to just start the conversation on that. So initially it was just about starting the conversation, getting people talking about it, and I think it's gone on to become a community where people feel very safe, where they feel understood, where they feel like they have other people who are also going through the same things as them. So there is that sense of relatability. And for me, I felt like So Positive is important as well, because I feel like we in life carry this sense of decorum and, good manners and positivity. But then somewhere on social media and in this digital world, we kind of forget that, which I don't really understand why. And especially in a time like this, which is the pandemic, when most of our work and our social life is going on digitally and on social media, is a time more than ever where people should realize the importance of kindness and being positive and maintaining that social responsibility that they carry on in real life, even on social media, because it is a digital world. We are living in the digital age, so that's what I think.
So, Ananya, I think this is brilliant, great thought process, and you've implemented it very well. I'm so glad that, as an influencer, somebody well known, you're leading them the front. But you have a campaign, a special campaign, Social Media for Social Good. Can you tell us a little bit more about this campaign?
So, Social Media for Social Good, it basically came up because I realized that my digital social responsibility is called So Positive. So I really wanted to talk about the positive side of social media as well. Instead of just focusing on getting rid of trolling or negativity, I felt like there's so many good things that come out of social media. People have so many jobs that they get out of there. It's kept the world connected, especially during the pandemic. And people help other people also through social media. I saw that a lot during the second wave of COVID, especially when people were sharing resources and, helping complete strangers out also. It's such a hard time for everyone. So the idea kind of came from there, and I found some incredible social media heroes, and I wanted to speak to them and kind of understand where their initiatives came from, when a time which was hard for them also, I'm sure they still decided to help other people. So it was a campaign that was focusing on people who are using social media for good.
This is excellent. I'm so glad, like I said, you're leading this from the front, and I think it's a great initiative. I love the campaign that you're doing. I'm already seeing the impact of it on a day-to-day basis. Thank you, Ananya, for joining us, and thank you so much for leading from the front, like I said. All right, now get ready for something very, very exciting, something that I've really been looking forward to, something that I've come here for to do today, and this is to talk to a lot of children, 10,000 plus. Well, all 10,000 will not join us, but let me tell you what we're going to do. So, Reckitt, of course, collaborated with White Hat Junior, and they came up with a very, very interesting technology challenge. Children from all across the country participated in this. It is called the White Hat Junior Swasth Bharat Tech Champ. And what did they have to do? They reached out to all these children and said that using technology, using the power of mobile apps, mobile campaigns, can you come up with something, an app, an idea for an app that can actually change things here in India? Health, hygiene, everything to do with what this campaign, what you've been seeing today, the telethon that you've been seeing, this is all about, and also change things in reality, because if children can lead from the front, I think everything changes, because we all get influenced by children. Every family does, every neighborhood does, every colony and every city does. So we thought we'll get a pretty good response. I mean, it was a good initiative, right? Boy, were we wrong. We didn't get a good response. We got an overwhelmingly great response. 10,774 children participated, and over 6 months, the entries were looked at, a lot of hand holding was done to take it to the next level. 6 months this continued till we finally have 50 winners, and all 50 winners with me right now. So first and foremost, I'm just going to do this because I have gone through so many of your entries. I've seen the 50 winners that have won. Unbelievable. Can I just say, when they say children are the future, you guys are taking it to a whole new level. If this is the example of the, what we're leaving the world to in the hands of you children, boy, we're in a great state. So, first of all, congratulations to all 10,776 and especially to all 50 of you that are winners. So, first of all 50, give me a thumbs up. Awesome, awesome. Congratulations to all of you. I am going to speak to some of you. I'll go through your app ideas, where that idea came from, what has been the reaction, and then, based on the fact that you've had such great success with an idea, what do you want to do with it in the future? All of that is going to be happening. So, should we get started with speaking to the children? How do we want to go about this? Okay, so first let's go to Trupti. She's the CEO of a White Hat Junior. Trupti, thank you so much for joining us. Hi Trupti, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me, Rajiv?
Yes, I can, Trupti. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you for leading and doing this incredible campaign and competition. So I have to ask you first, did you expect 10,000 plus children to actually come up with these amazing ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we launched this initiative, we were very confident that the children across India who already have a lot of ideas will be absolutely keen to use this platform. And each day that passed of the competition, the number of ideas, the complexity of ideas, the problems that the children were trying to solve just kept on increasing. So yes, the response was expected, but the depth and breadth that we got absolutely amazed us.
So many things jump out. What I really loved was also the length and breadth, not just only cities, not just urban areas. The entries came in from everywhere, small towns, schools and villages and everything else. So I thought the length and breadth was amazing. But Trupti, what totally shocked me was the length and breadth of the age of the children. So you have 7-year-olds that came up with ideas that I think even now, and I'm supposed to be pretty good at tech, even now I can't think of ideas like this. Were you taken aback with the sheer quality of the ideas?
Yes, absolutely, Rajiv. We were taken aback. We were expecting that children will get brilliant ideas, but we were absolutely taken aback with the depth and breadth. Let me give you an example. Children in this segment not only gave us ideas of problems which are commonplace, but they thought about problems we couldn't appreciate existed. For example, one of the children that submitted their ideas actually spoke about their grandparents and how the loneliness of grandparents in an environment like COVID was troubling him. So mental health beyond the obvious issues that adults think about. So the brilliance of ideas, the brilliance of solutioning was something that we were absolutely amazed with. And we believe as an organization that children already have the natural imagination. Children think about possibilities and solutions where adults think about constraints. And that's why this platform was so important. How we channelize the ideas, how we give them a platform to really floor something that they already know about. So yes, absolutely amazed with the work and the depth of the solutions that children shared with us.
I completely agree, and I have so many examples. And speaking of examples, Trupti, I'm actually going to go to a few of the children to talk to them. This is the part that really excites me. I had done a small little session with them earlier also. And in that I said that eventually I was supposed to host that show, but I actually turned out to be just a student because the children completely and totally schooled me, educated me in every which way with just the sheer confidence and the quality of the ideas. So first I'm going to go to Himakshi Jain, who's come up with an app called Red Thread, educational app that informs the users on the process of menstruation. So Himakshi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Okay, you're absolutely audible, loud and clear, not just here, but loud and clear even with the ideas in the app that you came up with. So Himakshi, I have to ask you first and foremost, coming up with an idea like this, there's always something, a deep thought process that comes, and you've executed it beautifully. You've gone into deep detail with this app and, the solutions. Why did you think of this?
So, first of all, sir, I'd like to say that I feel very honored to have got this opportunity to really come to this platform and talk about my app. I'm very overwhelmed right now. I feel very happy. And secondly, moving on to what inspired me to actually build such an app was that in the very start, when I realized that I have to make something which is involved with digital media, I wanted to do something wherein I can reach many people on a single click with an app. Probably those people who don't want to come up front and talk of their issues in a very comfortable space. And menstruation is one such issue wherein the women or the girls, they might feel shy to talk about this. Although there is a need to normalize this issue of menstruation, but we need to really, first of all, get to these people. We need to inform them that it is very normal to talk about just a biological phenomena per se. So that is where I thought of actually doing something that is pertaining to menstruation.
So tell me, what's the reaction in your house with friends, with neighbors? You're one of the final 50 winners, so incredible. Out of more than 10,000 children, you're one of the final 50 winners. So what has been the reaction, not to you winning, but to the app itself? I mean, are you now the big hero of the locality? Everybody knows you very well. What do friends think of you now?
So the very first reaction when I actually built the app, and it was completely on the Play Store, was that my mama and Didi, they were very proud of me. My complete family, they just flashed this news everywhere. My complete family, my friends, everybody, they were very impressed of me that I actually did something not just limited to winning a competition, but doing something for the social good. So
True.
I feel really happy that they are proud of me. I have made them proud. So, thank you.
So once again, congratulations. Like I said, every time I go through these ideas and, especially your app also, it's just brilliant, so well thought out, so detailed, so textured, and you've gone into the psychology of the problem also, which I absolutely love. So congratulations and thank you so much. I think I'm the one who's overwhelmed talking to you and shouldn't be the other way around. So thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations once again. And if your mom and dad, your teachers, everybody who's involved to help you, if they're hearing this or listening to this or are around you right now, congratulations to all of them also. Thank you for speaking with us.
Sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, the next one is Thavnesh Sirasati. He's come up with an app called GCT, Garbage Collection Tracker. Now, I have to again say, brilliantly thought out. Thavnesh, have you joined us now?
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you doing? Are you feeling good?
I'm good, sir. How about you?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm doing better now that I'm getting to speak with you. So, Thavnesh, before I get into garbage collection and all the other things you're solving, some of the greatest problems this country actually sees, especially rural level, urban level, everywhere. Before that, I just want to understand you a little bit more. How old are you? Wow, okay. So, like I said, at that time, I don't even know what I was doing with my life, and here you are coming up with an app to change our country and the world. So let's move on now to how did you come up with the idea of this app? I mean, did you see a lot of problems around you? Did you see people, the garbage, the way we actually go about, the kind of health and hygiene problem it creates? Where were you in? What was the inspiration behind this app?
One day when I was going out, I saw a lot of garbage thrown beside roads and open plots. I asked my dad why this happens. He told me that it happens because proper tracking of garbage collection from residents. So, if the garbage is thrown beside the roads, the garbage is thrown one in a resident house. Tend to throw the garbage after 2 or 3 days. This causes a lot of health issues for the people. people living around that area. So I thought of making an app that helps to book a slot and see the garbage collection.
No, fantastic. Like I said, you really thought it out and you worked out both sides, those that need garbage collection and those that have to come and actually execute the garbage collection. So it's not a one way where you're asking for it and it doesn't really happen. So before I go, I have to ask you this. So is the area that you saw, that you got inspired by, you spoke to your dad about it. Now with your app and all the things that are happening, is the place that you live in much cleaner? Is the garbage now collected better? And are you also now somebody that your neighbors completely love because you've changed the way everything looks?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, and once again, congratulations. It's fantastic the way you've thought it out, the way you thought of all ends and actually created a solution, not just thought of a problem. All right, next I'm going to be going now to Abhinaba Maulik. The app is called Dump It, and this is again waste management, but comes to it in a completely and totally different way. Abhinaba, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
All right, so I'm doing very well also. Thank you so much. So before I get into all of this, I want to know, what's your favorite sport in school?
It's cricket.
Cricket. Why did I think it would be anything else? And who's your favorite cricketer? You know what we should do? We should do this game. I should write down the name on a piece of paper, then you answer it. I should actually hold it up because I can almost guess, but I'm not going to be able to do it right now. I didn't think this one out. So tell me, favorite cricketer.
My favorite cricketer is Sachin.
I knew it. You know, I would have written exactly that name and maybe one or two more and quickly scratched them out. Okay, now that we know that in cricket the inspiration comes from a completely different person, tell me a little bit about your app and why did you get inspired to actually solve this problem?
We come across filthy and dirty roads regularly in our cities due to dumping of garbage indiscriminately. Moreover, this leads to both air and water pollution. I don't want this to happen in future India, so I thought of creating this app which will help users, like people who wants to dump garbage properly but can't do so because of unavailability of proper dustbins.
Okay, so when you got all of this going and everything else, was it difficult to get into the part which is the technology, or actually getting the app to get made?
No, it wasn't that difficult, but it was.
Okay, fantastic. And who is the most proud of you in your house? Mom, dad, grandparents, a sibling? Do you have a brother or a sister?
No, I don't.
Okay, so then all the accolades are all yours. So who's more proud, mommy or daddy?
They both are equally proud.
That is a very politically correct answer. So other than being an inventor, you also have a lot of future as a politician. So think about which one you want to go into. But the most important thing, congratulations. This is a brilliant app, brilliant thought, brilliant implementation. Thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations again.
Thanks, sir.
All right, great. Next up is an app called Dettol Warriors, and I'll come to why I think that's a great name. Arush Garg has come up with Dettol Warriors. It's a game that features Dettol as a main character that destroys small germs and powerful germ zombies. So, Arush, welcome and congratulations.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you very, very well, loud and clear. So yes. Now tell me, why did you come up with the name Dettol Warriors? Did you know that Dettol was going to be associated, so you thought थोड़े brownie points मिल जाएंगे, I'll stand out a little bit more and get through into the top 50, or did you just want it to be named for any other reason?
So good evening, sir. Let me just start by saying it's an honor to be here with you. And as for the name, as for the name Dettol Warriors, my main character is a warrior. He destroys the germs, he destroys the zombies. So, and also the sugarcoating what you said, I did think that would give me a slight edge. So yeah. So
No, very smart. I mean, that's how you go about it. You're supposed to take every advantage you can get. Why not take it, right? So how's the reaction to it? I mean, why did you think of it as a game? Did you think that it would, a better audience, more people would interact with it, more people would try it out? Why the idea of a game?
So, sir, game, according to me, like younger kids as well, will get more attracted towards the game. So, my main agenda was to educate the kids because they're like the torchbearers of our future. So, if we get them to learn about the things, if we educate them, then our future will be a brighter, better, cleaner. So, I did think a game would be better than an app for these reasons.
Okay. So, Arush, I need to know, how old are you?
Sir, I'll turn 40 in next month.
So you do realize that when you say, kids are our future, you are counting yourself in it, right? Or have you already become wiser beyond your years just because you're this big top 50 winner now?
What, sir?
You said, no, that kids are the torch bearers of the future. I hope you're counting yourself also in that. You're just 14 years old.
So, sir, I do agree. I do believe that the children will they will be the ones who shape the shape of our country. They are the ones who will basically.
Okay, absolutely, completely agree. What's your high score in your own game, Arush?
I'm sorry, sir.
What's your highest score in your own game? How much have you scored maximum? How many germs and zombies have you killed?
I just kept going. That's the reason I had to add the zombies. To make it harder. Yeah. That's why I added the zombies.
You're a total Dettol warrior, man. High five. All right, great, and congratulations. Well done. Brilliant idea. You always have to come about doing something and coming at it from a different side to get more people attracted. The more people play a game, more people actually interact with your idea, the more they get educated also. So 2 in 1, well done. Great idea.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay. Let's move on now to Harshita Bhattare. Harshita, your app is called Robust, and this is an app that helps users prioritize their mental health. Very, very important what you're really doing. But once again, the most important question that I have to come up with is that at the age that you are, how did you come up with something like this? How does that deep thought, that empathy, that kind of thought process come at this age to come up with an app like this? Harshita?
Basically, my main motto was to make people understand that being mentally healthy is as important as being physically strong. Hello?
I can hear you. Please carry on.
Hello?
Harshita, we'll try this once more. I think we are having some kind of a bandwidth or a communication issue, so I'm going to try it one more time. Harshita, I can hear you well. Can you hear me? No, I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and come back to you if we can. In the meanwhile, I'm going to go to Trupti. So Trupti, before I actually ask you a question to do with these tech champs, I want to ask you, because you're also an inspiration now to all these 10,000 children. Congratulations on becoming CEO. What's the difference between what you were doing earlier, which was head of customer experience, and now CEO? Is it any different? Because isn't a CEO basically also about customer experience?
Absolutely, Rajiv. So thank you for the congratulations. I was not expecting that. So I believe if you put customer, in our case the children's education first, all other solutions come naturally. So for me, my role as a CEO is going to be about how do we make the education for our children truly meaningful. See, the entire company has been set up with the approach of making children creators versus consumers of technology. And therefore, the emphasis of giving shape to children's imagination, introducing tools like technology to them, using platforms like these to make children really do purpose-led innovation, really giving ideas, imagination, their ideas and their imagination true skills to be able to take shape. So yeah, so thanks for congratulations, and you're absolutely right. For any CEO, more importantly in our industry, in our sector, the student, the education for the student, the education for children is the center, and therefore yes, customer experience will continue to be one of my key mottos as I take this role ahead.
No, like I said, you're doing a great job. You create children from just consumers to creators, and you build a completely different army that can solve any problem. So thank you so much. We're going to do something very special now, Trupti. We have two of the children from the 50 that won actually there in our Mumbai studio. So I'm going to now cut across out there. Shlok and Advik, Shlok Taklikar and Advik Shetty are out there. So let's take it back to the Mumbai studios. Shlok, Advik.
Why don't they come? Oh, there we are.
Look at the size of these guys.
Look at the size.
Come.
Unbelievable.
Young achievers. Why don't you go there?
Hello. Come here.
Too sweet for words.
Not possible that he's so smart. Well done.
So tell us about your app. Look in.
Created this app.
1 second.
Yeah.
And you take this.
I created this app to create
1
a
second.
bond.
Are you getting it?
No, no.
Can you
He's got a.
can you hear me? Is this microphone working? Okay.
Check 1,
yes.
2.
Now you can.
I created this app to connect a bond between kids and grandparents.
Bond between kids and grandparents. Oh, lovely.
Wow, fantastic.
Wow. And you?
Yes, actually I've created an app in which it helps people who are suffering through severe mental illnesses, and this app can help those people.
Wow, fantastic.
And, so actually I would also like to thank my school, Vibgya High, and my class teacher, Miss Trina, who have always encouraged me.
Wonderful.
And also my parents who are there.
Lovely.
They have unconditionally loved and always supported me. And it is truly an honor and privilege to share the stage with a legendary personality and also senior accomplished.
You are more legendary than I am.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
We ain't
and
seen
this
nothing
little
yet.
fellow. Well done. What
And
is the
your-
name of your app?
My Best Buddy is the name of my app.
My
Okay,
best.
My Best Buddy.
Buddy.
Will you give me that app, because I'm going to write about it.
Yeah, you can check on Google.
I'll check on Google.
You can
Okay.
check on Google.
I can check on Google. And what about your app?
My app's name is Be Positive.
Be Positive.
Wow.
You cannot imagine these two kids who are half my size are talking like this. My goodness, what is this new generation
good.
coming to?
Too good.
Let's have that
Absolutely
check.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow.
This is the check for
So all the students get 50,000.
each of them are getting 50,000 rupees. Wow. You know, I never even heard of 50,000 when I was your age. Well done.
Exactly.
Well
But
done.
deserved. Very well,
Well
deserved. God bless you. And I love the name of your apps.
Thank you.
Yeah. And are your
Maybe we'll have the
grandparents
second
happy?
check also. This is
Your
another
grandparents happy?
Yes.
They're very happy.
So you'll give me the name, and tell me about it. I'm going to write about it. And you tell me your name also.
तो पहला
yours
चेक
also.
अद्विक शेट्टी का और दूसरा
For Shlok.
श्लोक ताकलेकर.
Your Shlok? Yeah, he's Shlok.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So as you can see, both Advik and Shlok are getting a check for 50,000. Of course, that's a slightly bigger check than the one they'll put into the bank, but it is brilliant. So let me tell you again, all 50 of them have won this 50,000 rupees. So I would really urge all the children who are watching it to make sure that next year when we do this contest, we'd love to have you participate. We'd love to have you as a winner. We'd love to have you on stage like these two are right now. To make sure. So congratulations to all 50 of you and to everybody else that participated. Brilliant ideas. We wish we could have given it, the final prize to so many more of you, but this is absolutely fantastic stuff.
Well done. Many, many congratulations.
So
And what a
Sanket,
beautiful, wonderful concept to have a competition
Yeah.
and invite youngsters to come and invent. Oh, this is incredible. Well done.
Great
Rajiv.
concept.
Well
Great
done.
concept. Come.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
So Sanket, that pretty much takes care of everything that I was
take
doing.
the
I hope
mics.
you can
Nice.
hear me, Mr. Upadhyay.
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, great. So thank you so much. That was just the part that I wanted to do. And before I go, I just wanted to say that, it has been an absolute treat to do this with you, because when I was coming out here to do this 1 hour, I never thought that I would get to see you do Bharatnatyam. Such a rare treat. And frankly speaking, I would rather have you do Bharatnatyam before you do every single one of these news reports and everything else that you do. I think
You
Dr.
make an
Roy is
app for me.
absolutely right.
And I'll do it every
TRPs
day.
will go absolutely sky high.
Thank you. Or it'll nosedive. Right. Thank you very much. एक छोटे से ब्रेक के लिए अभी रुक रहे हैं, अभी हाजिर होते हैं.